guest on, so let's talk about that.
Who?
Absolutely.
All right, folks. South Carolina versus Tennessee, Saturday, noon Eastern. Not an SEC network this time. According to Knoxville News Sentinel, it's going to be on ESPN2. The line, last I checked, Tennessee was a 10.5 point favorite, and the over-under was like 64.5, I think.
And did blackout at high noon.
A blackout at noon o'clock. Oh, man, I'm worried. Hopefully it's not going to be hot. Todd Howe or Hod Tow, what's the weather for Saturday? Have you looked?
Well, thank you, Matt, and good Wednesday evening to you. I think it's going to be pretty warm this come Saturday.
How warm? What,
Oh,
humidity? Come on.
or something, I don't know, 77.
Put that little Vol helmet underneath Saturday and give us the forecast, Hod.
What's the dew point values going to be, Hod?
Yes.
Let me
Barometric pressure at kickoff.
check the barometric.
But yes, the Vols today unveiled their Nike first edition. Who's that going? Chris, I feel like it's you.
Probably Chris.
Black uniforms. So exciting to see that right when I wake up on Saturday and turn on the Vols. But yeah, Austin, you're experienced at black uniforms. You think they play a factor in the heat?
I do, yeah, and Chris can attest. I think the last time you guys wore black uniforms was in 2009. I think on Halloween weekend, and I went to that game with Chris, if I remember correctly, and it was
On the
It was-
50-yard line, man.
yeah, and it was one of the most humbling experiences as a South Carolina fan I've ever had. So
When
I don't.
Montano Hardesty hit that pivot, did that? What do you?
We hit the
The,
beach.
He hit
the
the beat.
hardest spin move.
No.
Right.
The play for me is the play action, just pass deep bomb to Austin Johnson.
Austin Johnson.
Oh my!
Yeah.
I was in the Pride at the time, and I saw I remember when the play action happened. I think it was play action at least. But Austin just went up. I think it was the left side, and it was just like I stood up and immediately saw it. Like I literally was standing up with my arms in the air and screaming touchdown before he even threw the ball. Like that was my favorite play.
Who do you think you are, Lane Kiffin, Matt?
I miss you, Lane.
Oh,
Come home
touchdown.
soon. Maybe we can make Heupel offensive coordinator and Kiffin head coach.
This is quintessential Tennessee fan thinking.
Speaking
So,
of head
one thing-
coaches, Austin, Shane Beamer, former Tennessee grad assistant.
Right.
What?
What are your thoughts? Yeah, apparently he worked for Filmer
Yeah.
in the early 2000s.
Smart filmer. All these guys. Riley.
I mean, can you
But
confirm that he's the reason we lost the SEC championship game in one of those years?
I know that was the rumor, but I can't confirm that. But I know that people have discussed that, and I'll follow up on that question next time I get an opportunity, just to see what we can find out.
Thank you. What are your early thoughts? Well, first, what were your thoughts initially at the hire, and your thoughts now at this point?
I was, it was an interesting set of choices we had. It seemed like it was guys that either had ties to the state or just totally random guys that I didn't think would stay very long. It seemed like stepping stones. So we're not Georgia, we're not Alabama, we're not these destinations where people end up. So to get the guy that wants to be there and has ties and wants to build something, I was happy with that. And the most success we've had in my lifetime was obviously when Spurrier was there, as all you guys know. And he was there, and he hopes to build that again. So that's all I can hope for. I don't know if it'll work, but
What did this is something that always bothers me, is the fact that South Carolina, I mean, they have some history in basketball, a little bit more than football, but South Carolina has employed Lou Holtz and Steve Spurrier as their head coaches. Like that, it's like, what?
right. And we historically we were the place that hired the guy that was pretty much retired, that had very little energy left.
Yeah,
So
Holtz hadn't coached in forever when you guys
Right.
hired him.
So like a young coaching staff and a fairly young guys is exciting in comparison.
Yeah.
You don't have any appreciation for the Lou Holtz years after Brad Scott.
No, it was pretty much painful the whole way through.
Okay, so pulling up Lou Holtz, he got to South Carolina in '99. In '99, the Gamecocks went 0-11.
Mm-hmm.
In 2000,
Yep.
they went 8-4, 01, 9-3, 5-7, 5-7, and then 6-5 for a combined record of 33-37, 19-29 in SEC play. So,
Right. I remember 9 wins was very
9-3.
exciting back then. Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you too good for 9 wins now?
No, not at all. I would take 6, for the next 5 years, and I'd be pretty happy.
Should be a Vol fan. Oh god.
That's you were born to be one of us.
So give
Right.
us what's your South Carolina fandom background?
So I grew up in Charleston, South Carolina, and which is a weird place for college football because there's not, you're closer to Columbia than Clemson, but everybody's kind of split from where they're from. But my family was always South Carolina people, so I've been burdened with that, that fandom my entire life, unfortunately. But it just makes the success sweeter when it happens every 3 decades, however often it happens. So ever since I was a kid, though, I've followed them, and they've been my team, and through Lou Holtz and Spurrier and everybody else, kind of riding the roller coaster.
Right. Who else been to a game at South Carolina? Was it Williams-Brice Stadium?
Williams-Brice Stadium, yeah. Chris has been.
Myself.
I've not.
Been to a basketball game there.
I've also been to that basketball game. Go Bruce Pearl, we miss you. Come home.
Go to the Carolina Arena or Colonial Life.
I think. I don't know.
Yeah, Chris, can't put us on the spot like that.
Had to.
Chris, we're over the moon about the Vols winning against Missouri, but
Yeah.
Is that what your picture is
The
about,
thing-
Matt?
yeah, man, I'm over the moon. The Vols are
Okay.
back. You just now got it? I'm just kidding. Love your hat, Kyle.
It looked like you're on the moon. Sorry.
Caleb, what's your hat? What does that say? Tennessee?
Yes.
Traditions.
I still can't read it. What does it say?
Volunteer tradition.
Volunteer traditions.
Black jerseys from 1903 to 1914.
Oh man, it's delayed with FedEx right now. I'll get to it, but what were we talking about? We got sidetracked.